Right now, in millions of homes across the world, a silent experiment is taking place. It is happening in living rooms in New York, in classrooms in London, and in bedrooms in Tokyo. The subjects of this experiment are our children. We call them Generation Alpha. Born entirely within the 21st century, between 2010 and 2024, they are the first generation in human history to exist purely in the digital age. They did not just adopt technology, they were born with a screen in their hands. But something is changing. Teachers are sounding the alarm about behavioral issues we have never seen before. Psychologists are warning of a mental health crisis that begins in kindergarten. And parents are left wondering, have we made a terrible mistake? From the rise of the iPad kid to the confusing viral trends of Skibbity Toilet and the consumerist obsession of Sephora kids, the internet is flooded with content claiming that Generation Alpha is doomed. But is this just the standard complaint of older generations looking down on the youth, or is the data pointing to a terrifying reality about our future generation? Today, we are going to look beyond the memes and the panic. We will explore the psychology of screen addiction, the impact of AI on human connection, and the reality of growing up in an algorithmic world. This is the untold story of Generation Alpha. To understand the crisis, we must first understand the tool that defined it. In 2010, the same year the first Generation Alpha babies were born, Apple released the iPad. It was revolutionary, but it quickly became something else, a digital pacifier. For exhausted millennial parents, technology offered a break. It was easier to hand a toddler a tablet than to deal with a tantrum in a crowded restaurant or on a long flight. This created the phenomenon we now know as the iPad kid. But what happens biologically when a developing brain is glued to a screen for 6, 7, or 8 hours a day? Research suggests that we are witnessing a fundamental rewiring of the brain's reward system. Applications and videos designed for children are not just entertainment, they are hyper-stimulating dopamine triggers. Shows like Cocomelon or short-form content on TikTok and YouTube Shorts utilize rapid scene changes, bright colors, and repetitive sounds. This conditions the brain to expect instant gratification. When you take the device away, the child does not just get bored, they experience a dopamine crash. This explains the viral videos of extreme tantrums, children screaming, hitting, and losing emotional control simply because a screen was turned off. We are seeing a generation that struggles to regulate their own emotions because an algorithm has been doing it for them since they were infants. This is not just bad behavior, this is a physiological dependency on digital stimulation. This dependency leads us to a second, more concerning issue, the collapse of attention spans and the crisis in education. If you speak to teachers today, you will hear the same story repeated globally. Gen Alpha students are struggling to read, struggling to write, and struggling to sit still. This is not about intelligence. These children are incredibly smart. It's about patience. Learning to read a book is a slow process. It requires sustained focus, deep work, and the ability to tolerate boredom. But for a child whose brain is accustomed to 15-second video loops, reading a paragraph feels like an eternity. We are seeing literacy rates drop to alarming levels. In the United States and parts of Europe, standardized test scores in reading and math have hit historic lows. While the global pandemic and lockdowns certainly played a massive role in this, robbing children of vital classroom socialization, the trend continues even now. We are seeing 7th graders performing at a 4th grade level. But instead of catching up, many are turning to artificial intelligence. Tools like ChatGPT are incredible innovations, but for a developing mind, they can be a trap. If a student can use AI to write an essay or solve a math problem in seconds, they bypass the critical thinking process. The danger is not that AI is smarter than us. The danger is that the next generation may lose the ability to think critically without it. We are risking a future where Generation Alpha knows how to access information, but not how to process it. However, the internet is not just affecting how they learn, it's dictating who they want to be. Recently, social media has been dominated by the Sephora Kids trend. We see girls as young as 9 or 10 years old storming into luxury beauty stores, buying expensive anti-aging creams like Drunken Elephant and high-end makeup. They film Get Ready With Me videos, mimicking the adult influencers they watch online. This may seem funny or annoying to some, but it reveals a darker psychological shift. Generation Alpha is arguably the most materialistic generation we have ever seen, not by choice, but by design. They are growing up in an ecosystem of aggressive algorithmic advertising. In the past, children watched cartoons with commercial breaks. Today, the content is the commercial. Influencers sell a lifestyle of constant consumption. When a 10-year-old feels she needs retinol cream to prevent wrinkles, she isn't just playing dress-up, she is internalizing adult anxieties about beauty and aging before she has even hit puberty. The infamous Stanley Cup craze is another example. It wasn't just about a water bottle, it was about status. If you didn't have the expensive cup, you didn't fit in. Social media has turbocharged peer pressure. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, is no longer just for teenagers. It's affecting elementary school children, creating a cycle of anxiety and comparison that drives them to buy. If consumerism is one side of the coin, the content they consume for fun is the other. We have to talk about Skibbity Toilet. For older generations, Gen Z, Millennials, Boomers, watching a head pop out of a toilet and sing a distorted song seems like pure insanity. People call it brain rot. They say it proves that Generation Alpha is intellectually doomed. But let's look at this with a research mindset. Every generation has its absurd humor. Millennials had random flash animations. Gen Z had surrealist, deep-fried memes. Skibbity Toilet is essentially a modern machinima-style war drama created using video game assets. It is chaotic, yes, but is it destroying their minds? The content itself isn't necessarily the problem. The problem is the volume. When a child spends hours scrolling through YouTube Shorts or TikTok, consuming thousands of disjointed narratives a day, they enter a state of passive consumption. They are not engaging with the world, they are letting the world happen to them. This brain rot narrative is popular, but it misses the point. The danger isn't that the videos are weird. The danger is that screen time addiction is replacing physical play. We know that physical play is how humans learn empathy, conflict resolution, and social skills. When you replace the playground with a tablet, you remove the laboratory where human connection is built. This brings us to the most heartbreaking prediction for the future of Generation Alpha: loneliness. We are seeing a disturbing trend where technology is replacing human relationships. Today, we have AI companions and chatbots marketed as friends. A child today can talk to an AI character that listens to them, remembers their secrets, and never judges them. It sounds perfect, but it is a trap. Human relationships are messy. They require compromise. They require dealing with awkwardness. If a child grows up interacting primarily with AI friends that are programmed to always agree with them, they will never develop the resilience needed for real human connection. We are already seeing Gen Alpha struggling with face-to-face interaction. Eye contact is decreasing. Social anxiety is skyrocketing. In a world where you can order food, attend school, and talk to friends without ever leaving your bedroom, we are creating a recipe for profound isolation. This isn't just about being antisocial, it is about a loss of community. Sociologists warn that this could lead to a future where adults are more comfortable interacting with machines than with each other. We are building a society of hyper-connected individuals who have never felt more alone. Now, before we declare the end of the world, we must pause and look at history. Is Generation Alpha really doomed, or is this just the cycle of history repeating itself? Over 2,000 years ago, intellectuals in ancient Greece complained that the youth loved luxury, had bad manners, and disrespected their elders. When the radio was invented, people thought it would rot children's minds. When television arrived, they said it would destroy education. When millennials were young, they were called lazy and entitled. When Gen Z arrived, they were called fragile. It is human nature to fear the changes that new generations bring. The "kids these days" effect is a psychological bias. We remember our own childhoods through rose-tinted glasses and judge the new generation by the standards of the past. Generation Alpha has strengths we often ignore. They are the most globally connected generation in history. They are learning about sustainability, mental health, and social justice at ages younger than anyone before them. They are technically literate in ways older generations can only dream of. They are adaptable. The problem is not the children. The problem is the world we built for them. If we want to be truly concerned about Generation Alpha, we shouldn't focus on their memes. We should focus on their privacy and their economy. This is the first generation to be sharented. From the moment they were born, their parents posted their photos, videos, and tantrums on social media without their consent. Their digital footprint exists before they can even speak. We have yet to see the long-term psychological damage of growing up with your entire life documented online for strangers to see. Furthermore, they are inheriting a difficult economic reality. The cost of living is rising, the climate crisis is escalating, and AI threatens to automate millions of jobs that currently exist. Generation Alpha isn't just facing screen addiction, they are facing a world of uncertainty. So, is Generation Alpha destined to be mentally ill, antisocial, and addicted? The answer is not a simple yes or no. The trajectory is concerning, but it is not irreversible. The fact that we are having this conversation, that millions of people are watching videos like this one, shows that we are aware of the problem. We are seeing a pushback. Parents are delaying giving smartphones to their children. Schools are reintroducing paper-based learning. Governments are debating bans on algorithmic targeting for minors. There's a growing movement to reclaim childhood from the digital world. Generation Alpha is not an experiment that has failed. They are children trying to navigate a world that is moving faster than human evolution can keep up with. They don't need our judgment, they need our guidance. They need us to set boundaries, to model healthy habits, and to prioritize human connection over digital convenience. The technology is here to stay, but how we use it is up to us. The future of our psychology, our society, and our humanity depends on the choices we make today. If you found this research valuable, please hit the like button. It truly helps spread this message. And if you want to explore more topics about psychology, technology, and the future of humanity, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.